What's going on everyone, it's Mitch here and welcome to another video. So it's nearing that time of year again where things are wrapping up and you might be thinking for next year, I want to get into YouTube. Well, in today's video, I'm going to tell you what to expect when starting a YouTube channel in 2021 and some tips on what you can do when you encounter those early hurdles. So your subscribers barely trickle in, your views are low, your retention rate is low, and your click-through rate is pretty much your friends and family. Does that sound familiar? Yeah, I know it well, and I need to tell you this up front. YouTube is not easy. If you want to make videos for the YouTube platform, you have to actually enjoy the process of, get this, making the videos and editing them start to finish. Believe it or not, it's a long-term game, and it's going to require an investment of your time and skill to be good at it. Yes, there are some people who get lucky, but that's like betting on the lotto. For a majority of people, if you want to get good at this platform, you're going to have to put in the work. It's going to take a little bit more than just recording a video and then uploading it. And that's what I'm going to try and help you to do today. If you're going to start a YouTube channel in 2021, then you need to understand there's a whole lot of other things that you want to consider for you to gain traction. The first expectation we need to address when starting a YouTube channel in 2021, or right now, is views. Believe it or not, for a majority of people, your family and friends are going to be your initial audience. And here's the kicker. Not every single one of your family or friends are going to want to watch your content. Now I know this sounds harsh, but believe me, if your expectation is from your very first video, you're going to have hundreds of strangers who want to like, watch, and comment on your videos, then you're kind of setting yourself up for a lot of heartache. So as I'm editing this video, I've noticed that under my right eye, for whatever reason, I have some glitter. That's really annoying me. I don't know why it's there, I don't know how it got there, but I'm not going to record that whole thing again because that would be ridiculous. So my apologies, back to the video. Your level of disappointment is the difference between expectation and reality. So just make a realistic expectation that your friends and family are going to be your initial followers and supporters. There's nothing wrong with that, we all have to start somewhere. Anything on top of that is a real bonus, but you have to allow it time to develop. If you get hundreds of strangers from the get-go viewing and liking and commenting on your content, then I applaud you, my friend. But honestly, you have to expect at the start that no one else is really going to care about your content. And that's okay, because your very first videos are going to be the ones where you're finding your feet. You're going to discover what works and what doesn't work for you. And it's not a bad thing, it's just part of the process. Don't be ashamed or embarrassed by these early stages where there's low view counts. It's not a mark of failure. Remember, you're doing this because you want to create. That's your primary reason. Views are just a byproduct of your creations. Full disclosure, when I first started recording, all I wanted to do was record, upload, and then look at my view count. The audience doesn't care about that. They want content that will mean something to them, whether that's knowledge, information, or entertainment. You have to give them something that they don't already have and are looking for. Do you have that clip ready to roll so we can move on to the next tip? Man, I gotta go record another video. Just one more game. Just one more. We'll be quick.
5 hours later.
Whew, good game. Ah, geez, that took a bit longer than I thought. Yeah, I better go record. Wanna go viral.
"24 hours later.
Time to check how my video's going. What the? I quit YouTube. Yeah, that's a real thing. So the second thing you need to expect when starting a YouTube channel is you can't please everyone. If you want people to come back and subscribe, you need to niche down on something, and then you need to provide value for people in that niche. But if your channel is everywhere about a whole heap of different things, people aren't going to come back to your channel for any specific reason. It sounds simple, I know, but if all your videos about random different topics, then people have no reason to come back unless they're just randomly coming back. In the early stages, that's okay. Test out different little things that will work for you. Now, here's the thing. Don't be worried if you don't know a niche to start with. Honestly, it's better to get started than not get started at all. But at some point during your discovery and exploration stages of what you like to make content on and what works for you and what you feel comfortable with, as soon as you can, you'll start to discover what you like, and then you want to niche down onto something. Because then you have a target audience that you can gear your video towards. Like me, for example, if you look at the history of my channel, I have experimented with a few things since I've been starting off. But this discovery process has kind of taught me the thing I want to niche down on is actually making videos themselves. I enjoyed that process so much more than anything else that I was doing, that my whole focus now is about the creation of the videos themselves. Does that mean you'll be doing it forever? No way. But in order to grow an audience, you have to have a particular focus. Think of like going into an EB game store, but expecting to find a bookshop. Have a theme that when people click on you, they'll have a grasp on what you're about, so that when they go to click on your other videos, they can see other things that may be related to their initial search. Now that may mean you need to create maybe 5-10 videos before you start to get any traction, but that'll establish when someone clicks on your channel, they'll have a look and think, hey, I want to come back to this guy when I'm looking for this topic. The third thing to expect when starting a YouTube channel in 2021 is you're gonna have to do a lot of planning and research before you even get in front of the camera. It's not gonna be like you just go off and shoot whatever you want to shoot and heaps of people are gonna flock to it, especially at the start. You're gonna need to find things that people are actually looking for, and here's the tricky part. Also where there's not as much competition, so you can rank high enough for your YouTube video to be discovered. So in order to do that, you want to use long tail keywords, which are much more specific. They narrow down the area of where you're going to be showing up, but they'll also narrow down the competition targeting that area. So for example, instead of saying how to fix my handbrake on my Nissan, you do something more like, how do I fix my handbrake on a Nissan Elgrand 2007 model? You might think you're eliminating a whole lot of search results, but the thing is, especially when you're starting off, you need to be able to get your video out there in front of people, so you need to target the smaller audiences first. The bigger audiences will come over time, but you want to start using tools like tubebuddy or morningfame to really help you research these keywords. Personally, I use tubebuddy because I find it really easy to use. But any tool that you can use that will give you an idea of what keywords are being searched for and the volume of competition against those keywords is going to be worth your while. Now I know this isn't new information and it doesn't mean that your videos are going to shoot straight to the top, but at least it's going to give you a fighting chance for your videos to be discovered. Really understand this point. If YouTube doesn't understand what your videos are about, then how does it know where to suggest it so you can get views? You need to understand the SEO for YouTube because that's the language it speaks in order to suggest your video. If you don't speak its language, it can't help you.
There is too much butter on those trays.
No, senor.
What?
Not on those trays. No, sir. Uno, dos, tres.
No. I'm mucho burro ali.
Okay?
You need to learn to speak YouTube's language. But also, here's a tricky part, make it understandable in a normal video sense too. So you need to gear your language in your video scripts to YouTube and also for your audience. To give you an example, I made a video for a friend a little while back translating a Japanese car console so that he could pair his Bluetooth phone to make calls and play music. There are very few videos like this, and I specified how to set up Bluetooth on a Nissan Elgrand. Now according to keyword searches, there's not many searches on this, but there's even less competition. But there are still people searching it obviously, because I'm not the only one who has this car. But still to this day, this video still gets 50 to 100 views per day. And the last that I checked, it has over 46,000 views, and it still gets likes and comments. And that video was shot on a mobile phone for my friend in one take. You don't need a massive topic, you don't need the best equipment, you just need a target audience to begin with. But that ties back into my second tip I gave you before, about don't try and please everyone. Make a video for someone, make it for one person, because you'll find that one person, when you address it to them, there are going to be other people like them. But if you sit there thinking about the crowd, you're going to think about so many other people's objections and it's just going to be so hard to make. So the last thing I want to share with you is, What's that? You have another clip you want to play? Yeah, sure, just roll it. I mean, you're the director. I'm just a talent.
One eternity later. "24 hours later."
Now the last thing I want to cover today and what to expect when starting a YouTube channel is burnout, getting discouraged and wanting to quit. It doesn't sound like much, but after 5, 10, 20, if you're lucky 30, you're gonna feel a little bit of burnout if you don't see much progress. Believe me, that's normal, because every time you upload a video, you're putting yourself out there, and for the work and time you put into making a video, it can be very disheartening to get very little views in return. Always learn from your previous YouTube videos and challenge yourself to do something better or different than your previous video. And here's the ultimate key. That's the only comparison you should be drawing, not against other YouTubers. That's gonna draw you mad. That's gonna drive you mad. Did I say draw you mad? Drive you mad. That's gonna drive you mad. We're all part of the same community, whether you're big or you're small or tiny or non-existent yet. But you've just got to focus on being better than yourself. Are you thinking about your audience? Are you using the right keywords? Are you using the right titles? Is your thumbnail attractive? Reflect on those type of things there on yourself and just try and make them better than you have been in the past. Don't let low viewer and subscriber count get you down. Try and focus more on your growth as a creator in general. Personally, because I like trying new filming techniques, I like to watch other great creators' videos that make me go, wow, how could I do something like that? And so I'll sit down and try and figure out how I can do something similar, how they executed it, but how I can do it in my own style. That often makes me learn something new about Premiere Pro or After Effects or camera techniques or lighting. There's so many things I come across where I think, that was so awesome, I wonder if I could do something like that. It doesn't always work out the way that I want it, but if I discover something and I like it, then I keep tweaking it until I get the outcome that I want. So if your expectation when starting a YouTube channel is to upload 10 videos and within those 10 videos have 1,000 subscribers, then you may want to rethink why you're starting in the first place. Now I'm not saying it's not possible, but if you're like the majority of us, it's going to take a little bit more time. It's more than just turning on your camera, hitting record, and uploading. Like anything, the process is what makes the outcome worthwhile. If you want people to appreciate your work and view what you've done, you need to stick it out long enough for them to find you, and when they do, you've got content worthwhile watching. In order to achieve success, it's what you do when nobody's watching. Anyone at the top of their game are going to tell you that when no one was around, they were training, they were practicing, they were doing the hard yards. They were preparing, so when the time came for them to be in the spotlight, they were able to execute on demand. They were doing what they needed to do hundreds of times beforehand in order to be ready for that moment they needed to execute. Don't let the lack of an audience stop you or make you try and shortcut the process. Good luck.
Five hours later.
You do it.
I don't know how to.